mistakes on a dusty road. Boots in prayer, heart feeling old. I lift my eyes past fields and wires, searching hope and fading fires. I've walked through valleys cold and wide, with doubts riding shotgun by my side. Every mile felt heavier than before, like heaven's gone quiet, shut its door. But in the hush before the dawn, when even the pain feels almost gone, I hear something gentle, warm and true, a voice saying, child, I'm still with you. It's a whisper from the skies above, saying don't give up, you're still loved. Even when the night won't end, grace is waiting just around the bend. I fall to my knees, lift my eyes, holding on to that whisper from the skies. There's a crossroad carved in the dirt, one way faith, one way hurt. I've made mistakes I can't erase, but mercy still remembers my face. A whisper from the skies calls my name, tells my broken heart I'm not to blame. Even lost souls still belong when they're brave enough to sing this song. If storms are prayers I haven't heard, if silence is just another word, then I wait beneath these open skies, trusting love never passes by. From the sky still stays, lighting up my darkest days. I may stumble, I may fall, but heaven's voice outshines it all. With every breath and tear I cry, I believe they whisper from the skies. As the sun sets soft and low, I walk this road a little slow, not alone, no more goodbyes, just a whisper from the skies. Morning dew on my worn-out boots, sun just breaking through the gray. I ain't got much left to hold on to, so I brought my worries out this way. I've walked miles with a restless heart, carried doubts like stones in my hand. Every road I chose felt broken, every answer slipped like sand. The world was loud with empty voices, but the meadow stayed quiet and wide. So I laid my fears in the tall grass, let the wind take what I couldn't hide. So I said a prayer in the meadow, where the sky feels closer to me. Asked the Lord for a little mercy and the strength to just believe. I don't need a sign or thunder, just peace enough to stand. I left my burdens in the wildflowers, with a prayer in the meadow's hands. There's an old fence leaning crooked, like it's tired but still stands strong. Made me think of all those faithful who kept going when hope was gone. The grass don't judge my question, the birds don't mind my doubt. They just sing like faith is simple, like love always finds a way out. Oh, faith ain't always loud or shining, sometimes it whispers low and slow, like a promise carried softly on the breath of winds that blow. I said a prayer in the meadow, with my hands open wide. Let the tears fall where heaven listens, under that endless sky. If tomorrow brings more sorrow, I'll still walk where grace is found, 'cause hope still grows in quiet places, where faith is kneeling on the ground. I've seen crosses on dusty hillsides, and candles burning in the rain. Every soul's just searching for mercy, trying not to break in pain. If he can clothe these fields in beauty, paint the dawn in gold and green, maybe there's a plan unfolding, even when I can't see what it means. So I keep my prayer in the meadow, when the nights feel cold and long. Trust the hands that hold creation, even when my faith feels gone. I walk on slow, but not alone now. I felt grace in where I stood, found a little light in the tall grass, where my prayer was understood. Morning lifts, my heart feels lighter. Boots still dusty, but I'm okay. Left my fears where heaven meets earth, in the meadow pray again someday. Morning mist on the valley floor, silence knocks at heaven's door. I don't raise my voice or hands, just stand here where I am. Lord, these hills have heard it all, every rise, every fall. If my words don't reach your ear, let my heart speak clear. Grandpa walked these ridges slow, said God talks where the quiet grows. Every stone and bending tree knows the way to memory. I've chased answers down the road, tried to carry every load, but peace don't come from knowing why. It comes when I let go and try. This is a prayer between the hills where time stands calm and still. I don't ask for strength or skill, just grace to do your will. Yeah, prayer between the hills. Some days faith feels far away, some nights I kneel, I stay, but every echo in this land feels like you understand. I don't need the whole way shown, just a step I'm meant to know. This is a prayer between the hills, lay down quiet, soft and real. Even when my doubts are filled, I trust the peace you build. Yeah, prayer between the hills, in the hush, in the still, where my restless heart is healed. I leave my fear, I leave my will in this prayer between the hills. Between the hills, in the hush, in the still, where my restless heart is healed. I leave my fear, I leave my will in this prayer between the hills. Between the hills. Morning lifts a valley breeze, faith walks down with me. Dirt on my boots, morning dew on the trail. I walked some roads that shook my soul, and climbed hills that tried my knees. But every step I didn't falter was guided by unseen peace. There's a blessing on my boots with every mile I take. I don't need a grand reward, just the path that you have made. I used to wait for miracles and signs that shone so bright. Now I find them in the dust and in the morning light. I step slow, I give thanks. If mercy walks beside the weary and guides the lost along, There's a blessing on my boots, even when the road gets rough. I don't need to see the ending, I just know your love's enough. There's a blessing on my boots, even when the road gets rough. I don't need to see the ending, I just know your love's enough. I set my boots down in peace, cottonwood leans like it's listening to secrets the ground won't keep. The evening falls on this dusty road, same place where I learned to believe. It's a prayer beneath the cottonwood, no altar, no church bell sound, just me and God and the cicadas, where mercy always finds me round. Mama tied a ribbon on that branch, said, Lord, watch over my boy. Didn't know what faith was then, just knew hope sounded like her voice. I didn't have the words, but he heard. I came back older, hands worn thin, with prayers that felt half spoken. Ask for peace, not miracles, just something here that wasn't broken. The wind moved through those cotton leaves like breath through tired lungs, and I swear I felt forgiveness before I even asked for one. It's a prayer beneath the cottonwood, still written in dust and grease. Every scar I brought back home finally found its resting place. It's a prayer beneath the cottonwood, still written in dust and grace. Every scar I brought back home finally found its resting place. That cottonwood still leaning, guess heaven likes it when we wait. Every mile's a mark I left, some I'm proud of, some I ain't. Every mile's a mark I left. Some I'm proud of, some I ain't. And there's grace on the dusty road where the past can't keep its hold. Every step that I keep taking proves I'm more than what I'm told. I used to wait for perfect days, clean hands, a holy sign. But mercy met me moving on right in the middle of the line. Don't stop, I trust. If you walk these back roads with me and you don't ask where I've been, then maybe this long road home is where forgiveness begins. In the where and in the mile, I ain't walking this path alone. I'm carried by your quiet smile. I keep it rolling, I keep rolling. Grace keeps up. Sun coming up on an open plain, boots in the dust, hand stained. Another day where heaven meets these golden fields of faith. Daddy's Bible on the dashboard seat, pages worn, but it still speaks. He said, boy, don't rush your way. Good things grow, they don't obey. I learned patience in the summer heat, watching crops bend on tired knees. Every prayer planted deep needs time and trust to breathe. In the golden fields of faith, where hope grows slow but straight, I don't see the end just yet, but I believe in what he says. Yeah, the golden fields of faith. Storms roll in without a sound, rain and doubt both hit the ground. Some nights I ask if I've been wrong, waiting here for so long. But even dry ground knows his name. Every loss is not in vain. What looks still is not asleep. It's learning how to be in the golden fields of faith, where broken hearts still wait. I may walk by shadows late, but I trust his hand, his grace. Yeah, the golden fields of faith. Lord, I don't need proof or sign, just peace enough to bide my time. If the harvest far away, help me kneel and stay. Golden fields of faith. I'm standing here, I'm gonna stay. In the golden fields of faith, I lay my fear and my mistakes. Even if the sky turns gray, I believe He's made a way. Yeah, the golden fields of faith. Sun going down on an open plain. Same old dust, new kind of strength. I don't know what tomorrow brings, but I'm walking through the golden fields of faith. Pine needles fall like quiet prayers before a single word is sung. I found a clearing off the old trail where the air stands still and cool. No pews, no bells, no stained glass, just sky looking down like truth. It's a hymn beneath the pines, not written down or rehearsed, just a borrowed breath of heaven finding its way through dirt and hurt. I used to chase the louder answers, thought faith was something bold. Peace came walking slow beside me, in a voice that didn't scold. I stand still, I sing low. If the trees can lift their arms without ever saying why, maybe I don't need the reason, just the courage to reply. It's a hymn beneath the pines where my restless heart unwinds. I didn't come to change the world, just to leave a little lighter than I arrived. It's a hymn beneath the pines where my restless heart unwinds. I didn't come to change the world, just to leave a little lighter than I arrived. The forest keeps on praying, even when I'm gone. The grass bends low around a piece of wood. I wasn't looking for a sermon, just a place to sit and pray. When the morning caught a shadow in the quiet light of day, there's a cross in the meadow grass, standing where the wild things grow. It don't shout or shine for notice, it just stands and lets me know I've passed 1,000 steeples, heard the bells and watched them ring, but that simple mark of mercy taught me what surrender means. I bow my head, I stay. If love can take the lowest ground and meet me where I am, then maybe grace was never meant to rise above the land. There's a cross in the meadow grass where the quiet roots run deep. I don't leave the same man I was when I kneel there at his feet. The grass still moves in peace. Old white gate at the edge of town, paint chipped off, hinges down. I stood there longer than I should, wondering if I still could. Lord, I know what I've been, every scar, every sin. If I'm welcome past this line, let your mercy be the sign. Mama said, grace don't check your past, it just opens doors at last. I ran hard, I learned slow, took the long way just to know. I've worn shame like second skin, built my walls from out of bends, but hope whispered through the way, there's more beyond the gate. There's grace beyond the gate, waiting where I hesitate. I don't earn it, I don't trade, it's given, I repay. Yeah, grace beyond the gate. Some nights doubt still calls my name, tries to pull me back again, but every step I choose to take leads me further past that gate. I don't need to understand, just to trust his open hand. There's grace beyond the gate, stronger than the fear I face. Every wrong he separates from who I am today. Yeah, grace beyond the gate, I walk through unafraid, no chains left to break. I am loved, I am changed by grace beyond the gate. Yeah, grace beyond the gate, I walk through unafraid, no chains left to break. I am loved, I am changed by grace beyond the gate. Gate swings wide, road feels straight, mercy meets me past the gate.
Saw it in the distant mile marker 9, leaning like it's tired of standing tall. Just a piece of wood and a faded sign, but it stopped me more than a wall. There's a cross beside the road where the hurry fades away. You don't have to know the story to feel what it has to say. I've been driving hard on borrowed time, talking tough, avoiding graves. That little cross kept whispering, slow down, son, you're still safe. I pulled over, I stayed. Maybe someone laid it there on the worst night of their life. Maybe God just needed a place to meet me tonight. There's a cross beside the road, ain't for shame, ain't for blame. It's a marker saying mercy still knows every name. I left the engine running, but my heart finally stopped. Sunlight dances through the pines and lifts a quiet hymn. I walk through valleys deep and wide and face the storms alone, but every leaf that shakes and wind whispers I'm not on my own. The psalm in the pines rises soft to meet the sky. I don't need a grand cathedral to lift my soul up high. I used to search for louder praise, signs that I could see. Now every bird that breaks the dawn sings mercy straight to me. I breathe slow, I bow down. If grace can hum where I can't hear, and hope grows without my plea, then maybe every whispered prayer becomes a sacred tree.
just saw 'em in the pines. Holds me through the day. I don't need to know the ending. I just trust and stay. The wind hums soft a lullaby. Shadows dance across the floor, and I can't hold the night. I've cried more nights than I can count, on a pillow soaked in fear. Every whisper of the dark feels like no one's near. A candle burns through tears, flicker when I can't see clear. I don't know who lit it first, but it reminds me you are near. I used to think grief would drown me, leave me lost in empty rooms. Now I see a gentle flame cut through the thickest gloom. I breathe slow, I lean in. If mercy shines in broken hearts and courage grows in fear, then maybe every teardrop spent brings your presence near. Guiding me where I can go. I don't have to fight the night alone. Your light still lets me know. Watch it sway in peace.
Church bells fade with the morning rain, Main Street waking up again, coffee steam and a neon sign. Time moves slow but it moves just fine. Friday lights on a high school field, hope and nerves both are real. Mom still praying in wooden pews for sons and daughters wearing blue. Old men talk by the hardware store, same old stories, maybe more. They've seen loss, they've seen grace, still wear a smile on their face. Heaven smiles on small towns where love don't make a sound. Faith is passed from hand to hand, not written down but understood. Yeah, heaven smiles on small towns. chase dreams past county lines, bigger roads, faster signs, but something always pulled me back to where my name still matters. It ain't perfect, I'll admit, but mercy lives in all of it. Heaven smiles on small towns where broken hearts are still found, where grace shows up without crowns, just open doors and solid ground. Yeah, heaven smiles on small towns. Oh, Lord, keep watch on these old streets, front porch prayers and tired feet. If the world keeps spinning fast, let this goodness last. Heaven smiles. Heaven smiles on small towns. Heaven smiles on small towns. Heaven smiles on small towns where hope still sticks around. I don't know what the world allows, but I know you're near us now. Yeah, heaven smiles on small towns. Oh, church bells ring, the sun goes down. Heaven smiling on this small town. There's a small flame waiting where the road disappears. I don't know where this path will turn or how long the night will stay. Every question louder than my steps, every mile feels the same. You're a lantern in the darkness, not the sun, but just enough. You don't chase away the shadows, you just show me where to walk. I used to pray for daylight, for the fear to end somehow. But you never promised morning, you just promised I'm here now. One step, one prayer. If the flame can keep on burning in the wind and in the rain, then my heart can keep on trusting even when I don't see the end. You're a lantern in the darkness on this narrow stretch of road. I don't need to see forever, just the next place I should go. I lift the light and start again. I lift narrow stretch of road. Dust rises in the morning light, wagon wheels roll slow and true. My face roads both rough and long, and hills that testing my will. But every steady measured step reminds me God is still. Faith on the wagon trail guides me through the dust and heat. I don't need to see the end, and I just know His hand I meet. I used to search for clearer signs, for maps I thought I knew. Now every sunrise on the plains speaks of grace that's true. I breathe slow, I hold tight. Mercy rides along beside, and hope keeps pace with me. And maybe every weary mile leads to what I'm meant to see. Trail keep rolling through the day. I don't need to know the end, and I just trust the way. Stars above, I rest in peace. The sun climbs slowly over hills and carries my heart with it. I've walked through valleys deep and wide and faced nights that stretch too long. Every whispered hope I send is carried to where I belong. A prayer beyond the horizon rises soft into the sky.